up, Cancer? Welcome to Monarch Intuition, and today I'm going to be doing your July 2022 mid-monthly check-in reading for you. So what do we need to know for the sign of Cancer? If you're new to my channel, what I like to do is I like to pull one major arcana to see the energy and then clarify with a different deck. So what major arcana needs to come out for the sign of Cancer? What do we need to know for you? All right, one more shuffle. All right. We have the Hermit. So what I'm seeing right here is you're going to receive some sort of illumination coming up within July, okay? It's important to understand what the Hermit actually represents. He represents someone who used to be a magician, right? And he used to work within the Hierophant organization. Great kings, great leaders would come to the magician and ask them for his secrets, right? He's then had an apprentice who he trained up to become the new magician, and then he leaves the situation. He leaves the situation and he wanders around in darkness to help people on his own time or out of his goodwill to lead them out of darkness, all right? And you have to understand the Hermit is not a negative or a positive card. He just sheds illumination on something within your life that you're completely confused about, you're in the dark about, right? I've always talked about, being lost in the woods. That's what the Hermit does. He's coming up to you to show you the way out of the woods or show you why the woods are treacherous, all right? So let's look at this energy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull 3 cards from the Revelations Tarot to see this energy and then clarify with a different deck. So what is the Hermit trying to illuminate to Cancer? What do we need to know with the Hermit energy? One more shuffle. All right. So 3 cards for Cancer. We have the 10 of Pentacles in reversed. We have the 9 of Pentacles in reversed, and we have the 9 of Cups in reversed. Wow. It's saying not to put all of your eggs in one basket or in a wish, okay? So this is almost like you didn't have a 100% grasp on a situation, so you're just going to throw all your eggs into one basket and it doesn't work out for you. And maybe that's something that you do a lot, Cancer, is you tend to look at certain situations and say, that's what I want to do with my life. And you put all your eggs into that one basket, you put all your time, your attention, and energy, and you didn't even see solid results at all, okay? So this is kind of like, starting up a business like a Mary Kay business or one of those Ponzi scheme type of businesses right here. That's what I'm seeing is you can't get rich quick. Sometimes it happens for people, however, most of the time it doesn't. If you throw all of your time, attention, and whatever into a wish, into an emotion right here, it's not going to work out for you. And that's what the Hermit wants you to be illuminated to right now. Maybe you've given a lot of time and attention into emotional situations within your life and you've tended to lose everything. That's what it's looking like. It's like you've lost your retirement. It's like you've lost your home. It's like you've kind of hit rock bottom. And it's about this 9 of Cups. It's this wanting to be fulfilled, wanting to have a wish within your life. Maybe you're sitting there wondering why people can be happy, why people can, have these great lives. But here's the thing, Cancer. Sometimes those people's lives are not so great. Sometimes Jane and George down the street from you who have the 2 kids and, they're in private school and they live that perfectly happy life. Sometimes she knows that he's cheating on her and she has a drug addiction and their kids hate them. And that's the truth about that situation. I kind of feel like what you're starting to realize here, maybe this hasn't happened to you. Maybe this is what you want. You want to have the life like Jane and George. You want to have the, the nice things, right? And I kind of feel like maybe this is a little bit of a comparison, but what the Hermit wants to teach you is beneath the happy exterior, beneath that lie that people present, there is something that's more sinister behind it. There's always something else. So the smoke inside the mirrors is still smoke. Yes, it looks fascinating. Yes, it looks beautiful. But at the end of the day, it's still smoke and mirrors. Maybe you want to stay within a situation within your life because you want to give off this idea of yourself. You want to play like Keeping Up with the Joneses. Maybe you're kind of sitting there thinking, well, I'll risk it all to have that type of relationship just so I can have one thing. I kind of feel like that's something else, is a lot of Cancers tend to want to have something so badly that they will put up with a lot of BS. Because Cancerians are the warriors of the zodiac. They're sensitive people, gentle giants, but they are the warriors. So let's clarify this. I want to use the Tarot of the Vampires, actually. Why is this Ten of Pentacles in reversed? Three of Skulls, death. It's almost like your demise was planned. It's almost like this is a planned demise, okay? This could be very symbolic to the way that the world is going right here. You have to understand. Let me explain it like this. When we look at that Terra Luna crash, right? People really trusted it, right? And people use something called Voyager. Voyager is kind of like a bank in a way. You put money on the platform and you can own digital assets if you want to. Well, when Terra Luna crashed, it crashed a hedge fund. I think it crashed two of them. Because those two hedge funds crashed, it crashed Voyager. What happened with Voyager is that people can't take out their money now. So there are people who were millionaires who just were like, yeah, I'll have some digital assets. Sure, why not? It's the new thing, the new rave. Now they can't get their money out. But I feel like it was almost planned in a way. It's a domino effect. Someone sees someone's work and they're like, you know what? I don't want anyone to have that work but me, so let me destroy it. And that's the thing you have to understand about the rich people. It's only them, okay? You have to understand that most rich people do not live by the idea of, I want to help other people. It's all about how much more can I get, like Bill Gates. Bill Gates just won a lawsuit against all these people. I think it was in Indiana. He bought up a bunch of farmland. And they put a lawsuit against him because who needs that much land? I think it was like 13,000 acres. He's not even doing anything with the land he already owns. He owns almost all of the Northeast. So rich people will perpetuate a cycle of toxicity to destroy anything that you have, all right? That's what I'm seeing for you right now, is be very careful what you invest in right here. Be very careful with your money, your time, your resources, because nothing's safe right now. Even having your money in a bank, really not safe. Look at what happened during the recession or the Great Depression. Look at what happened in China after, I can't remember what company crashed, but people couldn't get their money out of the bank. You have to understand, I'm not saying to run out to your bank and get all your money, anything like that. I'm telling you right now, be very, very careful about your savings right here. Because if anyone, even the millionaires, they wanted to take them out. People had millions of dollars invested in Voyager. People who were millionaires would be like, yeah, I'll put 10 million in Voyager, put it in, USDC, which is like the dollar version of the cryptocurrency. Like, it's a very safe crypto. But now they can't get their money out because Voyager is going to collapse. Nine of Pentacles, Five of Skulls, yeah, the Magician. It's orchestrated poverty. And even if you're rich, you're not safe because you're not mega rich. You're not elite rich, all right? If I'm talking to, say, someone who is financially comfortable right now, hell, you might even have $5 million. You might be like, oh, I have $5 million. You're not mega rich. In fact, you're comfortable. I wouldn't even consider you rich. Unless you have about $10 million, I'd consider you rich, and then you're comfortable. You have a lot more than I do. However, you have to understand that you're still not an elite person, and I think that's hard for people to understand. Your money is still not safe because you are not a multi-millionaire. And even if you're, someone who is just comfortable within their life right now, your money, your finances, your resources, they're still not safe because there are going to be more orchestrated attacks on the financial system, such as why are all the food sources burning down? Like all the food packaging plants, I think it was like 99 of them burned down, and the Biden administration has said nothing about it. I'm not calling anyone out. I'm just saying you look at one orchestrated attack and then you look at more and more and more and how it crashes each little individual thing. Just because Terra Luna fell doesn't mean that it didn't have a great reaction all the way around. You should go and watch that Scorpio reading I did like last month. It talked about this, talked about not investing anything right now. Because when one thing falls, it crashes another one, it crashes another one, everything falls in line. Orchestrated poverty. Nine of Cups. Justice with the Page of, or the Prince of Scepters. You might even be sitting there thinking, well, you know, it serves those millionaires right. Granted, yeah, sure, whatever. That's justice. Maybe you're not a millionaire. Maybe it makes you happy to see people fall. But I would raise the pros and cons if it comes to investing in something that seems too good to be true. Temper the energy of the Prince of Scepters, because the Prince of Scepters wants to rush out and do something right here. But with the Justice energy, what you have to understand is you have to adjudicate the situation for yourself. You have to balance it out. You have to sit there and say, hey, you know what? Things aren't really great right now. Are they actually going to get better? Are they going to crash more? Because here's the thing. Bitcoin didn't go to zero, right? But it was at $70,000. Then it went down to $17,000. Imagine people who bought at $60,000, how much money they lost. Nine of Knives, the Daughter of Grails and the Lord of Grails. You have to understand, this right here is all emotional, all right? Emotionally giving to this King of Cups is not going to help you because it is all based in a anxious state of mind. When we look at the Nine of Knives, it doesn't always have to represent the worst parts of anxiety, because anxiety is like, you know, thinking something terrible is going to happen. But it can also represent that it feels like if you don't do something, something terrible is going to happen. It's also like the fear of missing out, okay? Because that's also what anxiety can be, is the fear of missing out. It's like, well, if I don't invest now, what happens if it goes up $30 overnight and then I'm going to miss out? But then what happens if it doesn't? Are you really going to risk taking financial risks now? Ace of Scepters, Ten of Skulls, the Tower, yeah. A new situation seems exciting. You can make a lot of money and it crashes. For the fear of missing out. Well, if I don't invest now, I could invest in, you know, $20 now and then make $100 million tomorrow. That's a feeling. That's not real. Chariot, your energy, the Eight of Cups, the Two of Knives. You can't see the orchestration happening, though. You can't see that it's all going to fall apart and people are going to walk away. The victory is that people walk away from situations, and you can't see that, okay? The victory is that people lose money. In order for people to have a more totalitarian state of mind, people can't have money. People have to be desperate. And when people are desperate for money, they'll do a lot of different things. You got to think, when Voyager shut down, people committed suicide, straight up. When they locked their accounts and said you can't pull your money out, they killed themselves. No different than the stock markets. People are saying, oh, well, that was stupid. You shouldn't have invested there. You should have invested in the stock market. Stock market crash anytime, too. People kill themselves over that. You should have kept your money in the bank. A lot of people killed themselves in China because they kept their money in the bank. They couldn't pull it out. So when you chastise someone, you have to understand, are you smarter than them? Really, truly, are you? Because That's the thing about chastising people. People would say, oh, well, that's why I don't keep my money in the bank. That's why I keep it in cryptocurrencies. And then when that crashes, people would say, well, that's why I keep my money in the bank. But they both crash eventually. Same with stock, same with everything. Ace of Knives, Prince of Skulls, and the Temperance. You will get clear information as to when you should invest. That's the thing. Or whether this be a relationship, whether this be anything within your life right here, but it's not safe right now. Your property, your money, your things, lock them away. Make sure that all of your physical stuff is easily accessible and locked away, and only you know where it is. Only you know with this Hermit energy. Where you have quick access to it, where you can take it, because you just do not know what can happen. But you will know when it's time for you to invest again, when it's safe for you to come out of your shell, when it's safe for you to enter into a situation. It's divinely aligned for you to do this. It's divinely aligned for you to work on your financial resources right here with this Prince of Skulls, but it's just not now. And you might be wanting to sign a contract right here. You might be wanting to just put some money away, or maybe this has already happened to you. And you're thinking, well, maybe I can recover my losses. I see a good opportunity. No, it's going to... Lord of Scepters, Seven of Grails, Lord of Knives. You have to understand that you have to use logic and intuition. Someone could try to sell you a fantasy right here, and people who want to make money will sell you a fantasy. And you have to use logic and discernment to pierce through that fantasy for yourself sometimes. People will always sell you a beautiful lie. But it's really hard to sell the ugly truth. It really is. See, here's the thing. I'm not calling anyone out. I want to be real with you. I am not calling anyone out. When I read tarot, I look at the ugly truth of it because I feel like that's better to help you move forward within your life, because you don't come to tarot to just not solve a problem. You come to tarot to solve a problem. So let's look at the ugly problem and try to solve it. The problem is some people become narcissistic and they say, well, that can't possibly be my problem. And they only want their egos fulfilled. So they go to those readers, but then their lives never get any better. You have to understand that. When it comes to a problem within your life, you have to look at the ugliest of truths. All right? Because the fantasy behind the ugly mask, or behind the beautiful mask, is generally ugly. For example, we look at, it's going to sound political, but here's the thing. You look at Nordic countries all the time, and people always like to compare and contrast America to them. Well, why can't they have it? Why can't they have it? Or why can't we have it, right? You don't know the ugly truth behind those countries, their forced sterilization, the process of eugenics, the IVF treatments, whatever, in order to have their perfect race. Because at the end of the day, what you have to understand is that they have a master race, all right, in those countries. They all suffer from the same diseases. They all are very intelligent people. They're all very educated, strong, healthy individuals. They have some of the longest lifespans, some of the happiest expectancies, whatever, right? But it's all through a form of eugenics that happened 40, 50 years ago. You have to look at the ugly truth behind things and apply it. Do you align with certain morals and not morals? That's something else that could be coming up within your life right here. Is the fantasy is that it never happened. But when you look at the ugly truth, when it pierces through this, you can see how they got there, okay? They forcefully went into people's homes, grabbed them and sterilized them, brought them to sanitariums. Is that something that you can morally align with? I can only tell you, I can't make your own decisions. I can only give you the ugly truth about certain things, the beautiful lies that people tell you within the world. I can't make it, not a lie. When we talk about, say, Iceland doesn't have any kids being born with Down syndrome, why is that? Because when they look at the fetus and it has Down syndrome, they abort it. So there are no children with Down syndrome being born in Iceland. That's the truth about it. Granted, we say, oh, well, everyone's beautiful. Everyone deserves to live a happy life, whether they have a disease or not, right? They don't believe that within their countries. They believe in a pro-nationalism ideology. They're happy to be who they are. They're happy to have their own master race. They're happy to be healthy individuals. They don't want that. I can only give you the truth. Tenacity, transformation. Moving forward and not letting things hold you back, not allowing your transformation to be slowed down. Feel like you're transforming right here. Feel like you're having an enlightenment. You're seeing things from a different perspective, and you're not allowing people's BS, the fantasies, to get in the way of this, okay? Life purpose, strength. That's important to understand about Cancerians, is that you do have that shell. Your life purpose is to be a strong individual, to be able to look at ugly truths and to say those need to be abolished, or the good truths need to be established. Okay? Most Cancerians tend to be very strong-minded, strong-willed people. I know it's a feminine sign. People say Cancers cry a lot. But Cancers only cry on things that they wish that they could change, but they can't. However, if it's something that they can change, they will, and they're not going to cry about it. Be love. Unseen. You can't see this transformation. I feel like you're going into a higher status right here. You're starting to learn how the system operates, how systems work, and instead of aligning yourself with them, I do see that you are learning to love yourself. But it's almost being hidden underneath that shell. I feel like you don't want people to know about your transformation. I feel like you don't even want people to know who you listen to, who you talk to, your ideas within your life, keeping them a secret to people. You establishing your own thoughts about situations, policies, politics, whatever, but not really talking about them. That unseen energy. Let me get you a couple of Halloween oracle cards. Now, once again, I don't morally align with certain things, right? I don't morally align with them. I just can only tell you what they've already done. You have forgiveness, reducing the burden. The underworld, where all things pause and begin again. Forgive yourself right here. If you've made a mistake, you thought one way and you want to change your mind, you want to just change who you are as a person, forgive yourself from the things of the past. The underworld, where all things pause and begin again. Everyone has to hit rock bottom before they can move forward. Everyone has to have a great transformation, a great revelation. People oftentimes wonder why, I know it sounds bad to say, but there's that stereotype, why are the Japanese so smart? Why are the Northern Europeans so smart? Why are all these people so smart? Well, because they were made that way. Through sterilization of the people who they deemed unfit to move forward within life, to have IVF treatments, to have all of these things come together, to guide people. This is kind of like, that Georgia Guidestones thing. If you haven't heard of, the Georgia Guidestones were a way to influence life, and they fell down, they crashed, or someone bombed them. This is you wanting to know the truth behind something, whether it's, political, religious, spiritual, whatever. You don't want to deal with the bullshit, the nice things that people say about it. That you don't want to see the everything's frilly and everything's good. You don't want to live in the shuffle of life. You want to know the truth. How can it be so happy? But what you have to understand is that happiness is always generally built off of bones of other people. Okay? And off the misery of others. So the ideology of that was that they wanted to create their own master race, which is what they did. That was the whole point of aligning with Hitler, was that they shared, information. Same with the Nordic countries. They shared information. They received it. The Americas did it. Japan did it. I think they were like the last country to stop doing it. But, it does help promote a stronger mentality. People become more smart when you breed them through lab creation. People become more genetically superior. Like, was the whole point behind it. And that's what you have to understand, is that there are these things that already exist in life. And when you compare them to, say, other places, and you say, well, why can't we be like that? Or why can't I have that? It's like the George and Martha thing. Well, he's cheating on his wife and she's a drug addict. These people killed off half their population and eugenically aligned people together. There's always a very, very, very dark truth that has to be illuminated to you. Whenever you see something that seems perfect and beautiful, understand that there is always built on bones. 1 Joe. Joy and happiness, harmony and partnerships, positive family relationships, and good teamwork. So I do see your relationships with people right here, your friendships, your relationships. Maybe you're in a very happy, partnership right here. I feel like that could be okay, but you have to understand your relationship status. This is why I don't do a lot of love readings, is that people focus on the relationship, but then I like to focus on what's actually happening in the world. And that's more important, because when you focus on just one thing, you miss out on so much more, right? So I feel like your relationships are going to be good. Just pay attention to what's actually happening in the world right now. If you want to look deeper into, mysticism and whatever, I feel like that's something that you should do. If you want to know how people can be happy in other places, why they're so happy, there's always a very, very, very dark secret. So we lose sun, vitality, good health, good fortune, happiness, spiritual meaning, blessings, and wholeness. Sun card is important because the Hermit illuminates with his lantern, a piece of the sun, right? You're going to have illumination on a situation within your life, all right? This may not have happened to you, and if it has happened, this is the message that you have to hear right here, all right? It's not just happening to you, it's happening to a lot of people. It's happened to millionaires, right? Why can I not make it? Why can't I just, get money? Why can't I just have a happy life? It's not just happening to you. Millionaires' lives have also come crashing down with the recent things that have happened. Making good choices and good decisions. When I talked about that temperance energy, you will know when to do it. You're going to receive information. All right, 1 card for this. How will you receive it? The Hierophant. You'll receive some sort of very strong information from like a law system, a legal system, something like maybe the Pope or a president. This is someone who's in control of a very, very large group of people. There will be a message spoken to you, and that's when you'll know when a good time is to start investing in, money. But I do see for your family relationships, things are fine. For your good health, happiness, vitality, good fortune, wait. Hold off until you get this message, all right? 1 more card. Yeah, the 6 of Skulls. This message will be given to you, all right? The message will just basically come out. Someone is going to say something to you. That's when you'll know a good time is to invest. With this Sowilu Sun, you'll have good blessings, but you need to hold off. Don't just give in FOMO into things that seem too good to be true, all right? Understand that. So anyway, Cancer, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.